And again, China's corrupt, Russia's corrupt. These are all mafias, but the big, powerful, out-of-control mafia was obviously here in the United States and Europe and England. But looking at this, when the West, and it all came out later, funded Georgia to attack South Ossetia and Abkhazia, held by the Russians and the UN, and then they spun it on the news and said Russia had attacked, and they had NATO troops landing until the Russians rolled mobile nuke launchers in, and their Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman said, all right, we're preparing to launch nuclear weapons on you. That was on Russian TV. You didn't even see it here, but then NATO backed off. So it did show at a certain point they were just testing, but that's so reckless. These people have the power, the trillions they've stolen. Why are they trying to start a nuclear war with Russia? I mean, at a certain point, it shows that these people are so delusional that there's no telling what they might do.
Well, again, look at the failures that they keep mounting up and keep getting away with. Look at Ben Bernanke. You know, this guy said in 2007 in November, when we came out, we said we were entering into the panic of 08 in a few months, he said we're not in recession. He goes on and he says in 2008, we're not in recession. He says that his plans are going to correct things, and they're only gotten worse. What, the new job numbers came out? They created a grand total of what, 80,000 jobs this last month? 80,000 jobs? You need 150,000 just to stay even, accounting for new people, you know, the population growth and new people entering into the market. And those are phony numbers anyway. Then you look at the jobs. Hey, kiddies, keep spending that money in college. That's right. Get that degree as an MBA. You know, you could have a job at Walmart. You could become a cashier or a clerk. You know how degrading it is? I feel terrible when I don't go into Walmarts or any of these stores. By the way, just to flip off that for 1 second, did you see how Bank of America backtracked on their $5 debit fee they were going to pull on people?
Yes, that's an example of victory by the people.
Exactly. And that's what I've been saying for how long? Break the chains. Break the chains. As long as you support the chains, they're going to have you chained. I don't eat corporate food. I don't go into Walmart's, excuse me, Targets, or the rest of them. I stay away as much as I can. You see, these companies are so leveraged that if you knock 10% growth off them, they start to collapse. If people would start building the domestic economy, buying local, yes, spend a little more for higher quality. You look at the numbers, Alex. 1970, the year I got my master's degree, 5% of the youth were obese. Now it's all ranging toward 20%. Gee, I wonder why. Couldn't be the crap that they're shoving down their throat. No. Has nothing to do with it. Couldn't be all that low quality, hormone-induced, chemically added foods that they're shoving down their mouth. No, nothing to do with it. The only way we come back as a country is to build the domestic economy. And I love the language from the jerks over at Bank of America. Here's what they said. We listened to our consumers and reconsidered our decision. Listen to your consumers. They were giving it to you and you couldn't take it anymore. Break the chains. Don't drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Go to your local coffee joint. Break the chains. Olive Garden's not Italian food. Go to the local joint. Break the chains in any way that you can. Don't eat all of these factory farm foods. Buy local. Spend a little more. Break the chains. if you don't break the chains, going back to how I started this, all you kids that been shoved down your throat how to be good corporate servants by spending all that money getting an MBA to have some professor who's never worked a day in his life in the real world, or if he or she has, were corporate slaves themselves. You could have a future being a corporate slave yourself. You could help when people come in. You can say, hello. And then after they give you your money and they sign the credit card, you could say, have a nice day. And then you could go home and be miserable because you have not found the greatness within yourself. You've been unable to find anything about who you are, what you are, the skills and dreams and desires you have, because you had to be lived by the corporate rule book. The only way this thing crashes is if the big businesses fold. It's because the big businesses, the two big businesses that we had to bail out, are keeping you entrapped. So break the chains. The Bank of America one was the greatest example of what anybody could see of the power of the people.
Beautifully said. I tell you, Gerald Salente's on fire. We've got him 30 minutes of the next hour, very gracious with his time. You can subscribe and get his great information there over at the Trends Journal. We'll give you the phone number. We'll give you the website and things before he leaves. So definitely stay with us for that. I want to go to a NFL grope down 8-minute video we did so Gerald can take a break and so I can take a break. You can visit trendsresearch.com while you're at it. Check out more about Gerald Celente at trendsresearch.com/Gerald. But don't forget, we fund ourselves for the free market. The videos, the books, the T-shirts, all of it, the sponsors. And, you know, we have these money bombs, which can go into pure equipment and crew, and it guarantees it so I can be secure and hire folks. And the globalists are great at getting us to give us their money, you know, for NPR and all these propaganda systems, or to take our money at gunpoint and use it against us. If you want to donate, if you want to continue to build this platform for this information that reaches millions of people a day now and is growing, we really could use the support so we can hire 3 or 4 more people for the nightly news. So we've got some backup there, can get even better reports out, and because we are literally a skeleton crew. And also get some equipment we need to syndicate the nightly news show and expand it. You can call 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. The crew are in there to answer your call. We've also got up on the eBay auction at InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com some items and drawings and this bullhorn I've used the last 5 years. You know, that's all available there. And it's just another funding mechanism, because I can tell you, you know, I tend to spend a lot of my time trying to fund the operation, obviously, to even get the word out. We don't have big globalist corporate sponsors. We're supported by people out there who are watching. So InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. I want to thank all of those that have been donating. We're going to come back after this break, give Gerald, again, an 8-minute break, Gerald. We'll come back at 9 o'clock our time, 10 o'clock your time, and we will go to phone calls. The toll-free number to join us is 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-2539. Again, that's 877-789-2539. And we'll get you up and on the air with your questions for Gerald Celente. And you're getting a rare treat. I am so tired from, I don't know, I've done already about 17 hours of the 21 we did. Now we're, I don't know, into like 20 hours of it or so, the last hour or so with Gerald. And so you're getting a rare treat where I actually shut up and let Gerald talk. And wow, he's even more eloquent when I shut up. So we're going to, problem is I'm like a little kid. People say things and I have all these thoughts. I'm like, yeah. I want to add stuff. It drives me crazy when my kids do it, and here I am doing it. But we're going to come back with Gerald and take your phone calls on the other side. But if you want to be part of this 4th annual Money Bomb that the establishment hates, the idea of people getting together and supporting platforms and ideas together, that really scares the system, then 888-253-3139 or InfoWarsMoneyBomb.com. And when we come back, I really, if you want to just expand on what Gerald has said, it is voting with your dollars. It is talking the talk, walking the walk. It is extricating yourself. Number one, big chain restaurants are never good. Number two, big box stores are horrible and surveil you and treat you like crap and have a bunch of garbage you don't need. Number three, these companies have all moved offshore and don't care about you and fund anti-gun groups, you name it. These are the globalists. And it's deindustrialized our country. And if you want to look in the mirror and ask why this is all happening, why we have criminals robbing us and squatting on us and humiliating us, it's because we've let them. If you want to know why we don't have any industry, it's because we did nothing but buy things made in other countries. It's because we stopped being, made in America until 30 years ago was known as the absolute symbol of quality worldwide. We lost our pride. And that doesn't mean, that I'm up here on a high horse or that I'm perfect or that I make all the right decisions or that I don't buy stuff made in China sometimes. The point is I attempt. And now it's gotten so bad, it's hard to even do that. That's how deep down the rat hole we've gotten. So, this is the defense against the globalists here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we'll be right back after this quick break, looking at the TSA culture expanding nationwide. They've now got checkpoints as well. We'll come back with Gerald Celente on the other side as we fight this 1984 society. Stay with us. Alex Jones here reporting for InfoWars Nightly News with this special report. Well, darker days have come to our republic. The United States, once a bastion and light of liberty worldwide, is now an example of tyranny and oppression not even seen in Soviet Russia or Nazi Germany. Not even the Nazi Germans set up checkpoints and groped people's genitals. Now the NFL, basically under unlawful orders by Big Sis Janet Napolitano, has ordered the NFL to grope all 16+ million of their fans that go into the sports supercenters every year. In fact, the teams have now announced today that starting this weekend, everyone will be groped. Now, before I get into this report, notice, first it's take your shoes off and take your belt off and take your jacket off. Then it's we're going to grope you on the outside of your pants. Then it's we're going inside your pants. Now we're going to put you in these microwave ovens that are killing the TSA workers as well. Now the TSA and Big Sis at the last Super Bowl are there helping run the security at the Super Bowl in Dallas. Now it's going to happen at every event. We're going to grope you from the ankles all the way up to your breast, all the way up to your neck. They say they're going to grab your wife's breast. They're going to take the diaper off of your baby. The same stuff that goes on in the airports. And people say, well, if you don't like it, don't fly. And then it's, well, if you don't like it, don't go to an NFL game. Here's the problem. It's always more 10 years after 9/11. TSA is announcing and has now shown up in, just 3-4 months ago in New Mexico, groping people at a prom. TSA has announced that they want to put their trained officers. So if you get knighted by the TSA, that they wave a magic wand, now you can violate people's rights. Police departments, state police, other federal police, and private security guards are now saying they're going to have a right without a warrant to stick their hands down your pants. They're saying shopping malls. Janet Napolitano was at the Super Bowl and other games in your face as if you wouldn't be safe if she wasn't here taking all your rights. 9,000 locations like Walmart with telescreens saying don't trust your neighbor, only trust Big Sis, and running PSAs where all the terrorists basically look like Tea Partiers. This is all happening. This is the authoritarian overthrow of America. It has nothing to do with terrorism. The government admits they put the underwear bomber on the plane on Christmas Day. That was staged on record. All of this stuff is garbage. Anwar al-Awlaki, number 3 in Al-Qaeda, is hanging out secretly at the Pentagon. The State Department has now come out and said that they won't give up his records for his privacy. It's staged. They were giving Libya over to Al-Qaeda. They're giving Al-Qaeda a seat at the UN. They're admitting they're engaged in genocide, exterminating blacks, but that's okay. Al-Qaeda gets given a country, but you, your wife, your children get to have private security grope them. And that's all that's happening here is our republic's being overthrown. It's a federal power grab. What jurisdiction does Big Sis have to be at all these big football games? What jurisdiction to be in these public-private partnerships at Walmart saying, don't trust anybody? Let's say terrorism was real. You've got a better chance of dying from being struck by lightning or bee stings. Look it up. Or being bit by a snake. But we don't have